Firstly, from my part, on behalf of JMac and 4-Star Media and everyone involved in putting on this show, thank you so much. Thank you, whoever that was. Thank you so much for being part of this incredible state championships. This has been 12 months in the making and lots of forethought on behalf of the club and the committee and everyone who's put effort in. I just want to thank you all for being here and making this event what it is. It's been an incredible honour to host you guys with JMac and bringing you all the action in a format that certainly not everybody liked, but we enjoyed it for the action that it provided and the racing that will definitely go down in the history books. Whether we run this format ever again is still up in the air, but I'm a fan. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of you didn't. The guys who won certainly did. And I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend and will carry this event in your memories for a long time to come. I'm now going to pass you on to Club President of the Hurricane Go-Kart Club, Mr. Gavin Kennedy.
Hurricane Go-Kart Club would like to thank everyone, all the officials and all the helpers mainly. The club put this on, everyone keeps coming up and thanking me. Well, I did very little compared to a lot of other people here. All the laps that were competed, there were 60 laps you all competed in, which represented 1 year of our club being in existence. So that's why the 60 for the 60 years. The format was run back when we first started, back in the 60s, in 71, when we were here. And it came back. There's been a lot of controversy about it. Some like it, some don't. Like the winners will love it, but the losers will never like it. But I hope you enjoyed it. It was something different. That was part of it, not doing the same thing every day in and out. We would like to thank all the helpers, and one in particular that's done more work than most need to know about. Gets everything done, gets things organised. One of the crew, but we have a small presentation for Amy, our secretary, and she basically puts this meeting together. Every meeting we have, without her, we're lost.
Oh my God. You guys just don't want me to resign. I know what this is about. Thank you, everybody. For those that didn't put your scrutineering forms in that I have to message, I do not like yous. But apart from that, not really. But thank you. I hope you guys loved the meeting. It's a lot of work for all of us to put in, and I do hope you enjoyed it. So thanks.
All right, big congratulations to Amy. She puts in a hell of a lot of work, and I know she has to wrangle me and JMac at least, plus all the 4-star crews. So a lot of the things that go unseen, a lot of us rock up and race, and then we pack up our stuff and head on to the next one. But it's amazing to see the background work that goes into running an event. So one more time for all of the volunteers and the officials that put on this state title. Okay. That's going to get a little annoying. Can we do anything about that before we start? No? All right. We're going to do our best with the speaker. I'm probably the loudest of the bunch, so I'll try and... Colin's working on it. He is back there. That's good. All right, so the way we're going to run this is... For every class, we will announce your fastest qualifier. You'll come up, get your award, shake Gavin's hand, get your photo taken, and if you're staying on the podium, wait to the side. For then the podium, you'll come up and you'll shake Gavin's hand. You'll receive your sash like a beauty queen you are. Gavin's going to put it on, so don't make it weird. And you'll take your place on the podium. You get to say your piece and thank all your people, have your photos taken, and be on your merry way to celebrate. Sounds easy? Good stuff. Now I'm going to find my results.
This is the first time this class. Yes, that's right.
Okay. Tag 125, restricted medium. In the first time it has ever been run at a state championship event, your fastest qualifier, Thomas Bauscher. Thank you. That's a hit, mate. Onto the podium. If we can get the trophies on the podium, let's do that first. Oh, yes. Secretary slacked. That's what happens. We gave her flowers, and she took a moment. All right. Third is first. All right. We got that with the first one. It's out of the way. Third place in 125 restricted medium. Give it up by a whole 71 points. Cooper Cuts. There we go. Over the arm. Yeah, there we go. Now he's looking good. On the podium with your trophies. There you go. In second place, take note, that's how it's done. Second place in 125 restricted medium, Carlos Del Toro. And for the first time in the history of karting Western Australia, your state champion in Tag 125, restricted medium. Give it up for Thomas Basher! Jump on up on the podium, guys. We'll give Thomas a moment to hold all 16 of his prizes and get a leg up in the race suit. Yeah, they're tight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your podium in 125 restricted medium.
Okay, Jesus, damn. Okay, yeah, so first, big thanks to Hurricane for hosting the event. It was a great day. Oh, well, great 3 days. Thanks to my dad, obviously. He's been there for the whole journey that I've been on so far for karting. So thanks for him for being there. Thanks also to him for setting up the kart for the day. Thanks to BRM. Obviously, thank you for the kart, and thanks for the help throughout the whole weekend. Thanks to my sponsors, BFM Energy, Shusha Holdings, TRP Truck Parts, Audi Centre Perth, Torre Butchers, and Beatrice Electrics. And yeah, thank you everyone for coming along. Thanks.
First, I'd like to thank my family for all the support, Damon and the Nicolis for all their help, Conor Roth has helped me out with a few bits with the Formula K chassis. It's been great, even though it's a bit of an old girl. I might need a new one soon. BD, excellent engine again. All the commentary, Full Style Media, spot on as always. Great racing. I started racing 23 years ago, and this weekend is probably the best racing I've had for a long time like that at the front. It's been great. Well done, Bauscher. A lot of pace. Good to see Cooper up here as well. It's a bit of a shame about Heat 5 on the outgrid that we didn't all get to get out on our wet setups, but it is what it is. This second place trophy will be a good reminder and motivation for 12 months' time to try and get one off you. Thank you.
Two things I want you to know. One, how much this means to me. This is just amazing. I'm still kind of a bit speechless and can't believe it's happened. So this means the world to me. Second thing you need to know is that this is a brand new race suit and it doesn't flex very much. So it's not very generous. In terms of the people who have helped me this week and this weekend and over the entire course of me coming back into karting, I can't thank everyone individually. There's so many people. But I couldn't have done it without them. And even yesterday, we had a fail in our first heat. It was my fault, and everyone just kept motivating me, pushing me, telling me not to give up, telling me to keep going. I wouldn't be standing here right now without all of those people. and thank you for their help. But it means the world to me. And a big thank you to Wundowie Kart Club. I've had a lot of success here, and I can't thank this club enough. So thank you to everyone. Means the world to me. Thank you.
Don't forget your perpetual trophy on the way. Oh no, you don't have one yet. The first name on one.
Where'd they get the trophy?
Yep, I'm getting them. They're under my...
Okay, good.
No, mate, there's a lot.
All right, we are good to go. Ka3 Junior Light brought to you by Mechanical Piping Services. Now, I usually ask of this of the youngest drivers, but most of these are graduates straight out of Cadet 12, and it's pretty early days, so please, let's give them nice and quiet so they can be heard when they speak as well. We'll do that for all of the juniors, for the Ka4s and Ka3, so please give them the silence they deserve to say their thanks. Your top qualifier in Ka4 Junior Light, Sachin Smith-Way. I think Sachin may have gone home. Sam Dicko, did Sachin go home? Sachin went home. All right. Moving on. Third place on 1,135 points. Give it up for Nicholas Stati. Arm, head, shoulder, yep. Knees and toes, perfect. In second place, on 1,398 points, give it up for Jackson Mitchell Rosenauer. And ladies and gentlemen, with 2 race wins, 1 second place and 2 third place results, your state champion in Ka4 Junior Light, give it up for Dylan Guest. Jump on up there with your trophies. Oh, grab your blue plate as well. There you go. There's not much room on there. Tuck your feet in. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up the trophies. Give it up for your Ka4 Junior Light Podium. All right.
I'd like to thank MG Engines for all the support throughout the year. I'd like to thank the drivers for great racing. I'd like to thank my dad for bringing me up here and for being awesome. I'd like to thank the drivers for great racing and Mike for all the prep talk, Mike Solly, and the drivers for great racing. Thanks.
I'd like to thank Dad for bringing me here this weekend, Kip Foster for the engine, Richard Deckers, Brendan Ree for running me, and all my sponsors. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, just like to thank Eurotech, Daryl for letting me use the kart. It was mint. Flat Out Karts for the awesome motor. These boys for good racing. Adam Levi for starting me off a few years ago. Mark for the tyres, mint. Yeah, my dad. Cheers.
Good on ya. Yeah, just bring them back next year, unless you plan on winning twice.
Don't forget
Okay, moving on. Ka3 Senior Light, brought to you by LD Total. We got the plate? We got everything? Plus the kitchen sink. Bit of quiet, please. Nicely done. Your top qualifier. Give it up for Thomas Lawton. Moving on to your podium. In third place on 951 points, Luca Nietzsche. In second place, he hasn't reached an expiry date yet on 1,039 points, Michael Jones. I love ya.
Didn't you say 62?
He's more than twice the combined age of the rest of the podium. Don't fact check that. And ladies and gentlemen, on 1,552 points, your new West Australian State Champion in Ka3 Senior Light, Thomas Lawton. Even though the sashes are really old school, nobody knows how to do this. It's great. Jump on up on the podium, boys. Pick up all 6 trophies. Don't lose your sash. Trophies up. Come on, Tommy. You're usually quick. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Ka3 Senior Light podium.
Put this down. Don't have too many hands. First off, I'd like to thank my dad, my mum, Daryl from Eurotech for just putting in work. But most of all, Sparksy for putting in hours of work every day to get the karts on the grid. Sparksy for fixing up the engines, fixing up the karts, getting the karts to the grid and everything. Ricardo Kart for the great chassis. Daryl for his help throughout the weekend, and the rest of the KF field for clean racing.
Firstly, massive congratulations to Tom, mate. Class of the field this weekend, mate. Absolutely brilliant drive all weekend. Massive thanks to the Hurricane Kart Club, every volunteer, every official, everyone that stood out in the rain, took photos, officiated the race, made this thing run as smoothly as it did. Every driver here should thank you, because we wouldn't be doing what we love without you guys. Greg, Sam, Flat Out Karts, mate, you guys couldn't do more for me to get me back up the front. We've had a couple of tough years, and you guys believed in me. You gave me the gear to do it. We didn't have enough for Tommy, but we won the final and we got on the podium, so thank you guys so much. Simon, Trev, old man, coming up and giving me a hand. Tony and the kids for supporting me in everything I do. Thank you very much.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank my mum and dad, my sister, my grandma and grandpa for coming up and all their support. I'd like to thank Corey for spinning spanners. He was faultless all weekend, and the kart ran to 100%. I'd like to thank Eurotech Race Engines and Eurotech. Daryl Henderson, he puts in countless hours before race meetings, after race meetings, during race meetings, and he makes them run to absolute perfection. I'd like to thank the whole Eurotech team. It was awesome having you guys around to that this weekend, so it was good fun. The Ka3 Senior Light drivers, it was awesome racing. Definitely, definitely one of the hardest classes. Yeah, I had a ball. Thanks to the club. The club put on an awesome meeting, ran faultlessly, and yeah, cheers.
Yeah, we're onto it. Okay, tag 125 heavy. Brought to you by Kartmart. Your fastest qualifier. Give it up for Lewis Reed. Onto the podium. In third place, on just 967 points, Shay Thompson. In second place, on 1,428 points, give it up for your outgoing state champion, Simon Gwilliam. Oh. Simon's not here? Oh, that's a heartbreaker. All right. Oh, Scopes is getting it. You look better in the sash. All right. Gumby had a haircut. And your 2021 West Australian State Champion, clean sweeping the first 4 heats of the weekend. Didn't even need to go out for the 5th one. After 12 months out of the saddle, give it up for your new state champion, Lewis Reed. Jumping up there, boys, up on the podium. Up on the podium. I do not take no for an answer. There you go. Hold the trophies up. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your 125 heavy podium.
Firstly, big thank you to Dad, who puts in so much work and effort into mine and Flynn's karts, so I can't thank him enough for all the time he's spent on us. Flat Out as well, getting me up to speed on the WPK kart. It's great, and always giving me a really strong engine too. The club, putting on, organising it well and running it so smoothly. As for the format, I hope we've learned a lesson this weekend and we don't do it ever again. But the racing was great, and well done to Lewis. He was unstoppable this weekend. And yeah, congrats.
Gumby would like to thank Red Lion Oils, Kart Force, Kip Foster, and Grassy for giving me help, and the Hurricane Kart Club for a great race meeting. Thank you.
First of all, I'd just like to thank Dad for all he's done this year for me and the rest of his family. Flat Out Karts for the wicked lease package as well. X5 was on fire all weekend. The rest of the Flat Out team for all their help as well. Been a massive help for me this weekend. Shay and Simon and the rest of the field for awesome racing, and the club put on a wicked meeting. I really enjoyed it. Cheers.
All right. We're on to Cadet Nines, presented by Just Commodore. Once again, I would love to hear a pin drop in this place for the smallest and youngest drivers in contention this weekend. And they might need a parent or guardian to help them carry all that back. There's a lot for the youngsters to carry back. Cadet Nines brought to you by Just Commodores, your fastest qualifier, Conor Mayer. Yeah, don't go far. In third place, he made it hard for himself on 1,023 points, Chase Saxel. In second place, all the way from Tasmania, getting it done on the podium. Give it up for Cruz Kelly. And now, your Cadet 9 West Australian State Champion by the margin of 3 points. Give it up for Conor Mayer. All right, we'll try and do this nicely. Hold your trophies up if you can. Pick them up. J-Mac will assist if needed. Yep. Yeah. We want a good photo. Yep. Oh, and the sash. And the sash. Gav, get the sash. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Cadet Nines. Right, it's yours. Right here.
First of all, I'd like to thank my family for supporting, my best friend Graham and Diego, Levi for supporting me, the club for putting on this meeting, the Cadet Nines for amazing racing, and Chris Mitchell for the amazing commentating.
I'd like to thank BRM, Jason, and my coach, Chris Schofield.
Massive thanks to Mum and Dad. Dad for just putting in everything and doing so much work on the kart. It really means everything to me. Big thanks to Flat Out Kart, Sam and Greg. Without them, I definitely wouldn't be on the top spot. Huge thanks to all the officials, the stewards, all the volunteers. We really should be thanking them because without them we wouldn't be racing, we wouldn't get what we need done. All the other drivers, great racing, good job to Cruz, Chase. Yeah, thank you.
Can we get a couple of helpers to help these youngsters get their trophies? Thank you. All right, moving on. Ka3 Jr. Don't mind that. I hope you didn't get that. All right, on to Ka3 Jr. Brought to you by Pacific Safety Wear. Your top qualifier, Noah Lyle. There he is. In third place on 991 points. Give it up for Sebastian Guest. In second place on 1,080 points. Give it up for Noah Lyle. And your 2021 West Australian State Champion in Ka3 Jr. on 1,503 points. Give it up for Dylan Guest. All right, trophies up, boys, trophies up. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Ka3 Jr. Podium.
I just like to thank my dad for bringing me down here, my mum for her support, Mark Rosner for the great tyres, Flat Out for the awesome engine, Adam Levi for his help a year ago. And I would also like to thank Eurotech, Daryl, and Gabe.
I'd like to thank Flat Out for the awesome chassis and engine for the weekend, Kevin for mechanicking me, the whole support from the Flat Out team, and everyone else for great racing. Thank you.
Yeah, just like to thank my dad for spending the money and getting us up here and everything. Mark for the tyres, Eurotech, Flat Out Karts for the killer engine. Wouldn't be here without them. Seb, Noah, Zane, everyone for the good racing. Yeah, cheers.
Okay, for something a little bit different and a little special, there was a young guy who wanted to join me to help present the awards for Cadet 12. This young fella, his name is Conor Radford, and he did himself a bit of a mischief and was unable to compete with the rest of his mates this weekend. So he really wanted to be part of this, and he really wanted to be part of the weekend. He spent all weekend hanging out and watching his mates, and he wants to be part of this, so we're going to give him the time. He's going to announce your winners in Cadet 12, brought to you by Shannon's Insurance. Okay? Nice and quiet, please, for the Cadet 12s. I know I bang on about it all the time, but seriously, they're tiny. They got little voices. They want to be heard.
So the top qualifier, Chase Wildman. Third place at 994 points, Campbell Thompson. At second place, at 1,219 points, Chase Wildman. And give it up. 1,497 points. Your Cadet 12 state champion, Chase Webb.
Legend, mate. Good on you. I'll take that off if you want.
Yep.
Champion. Podium.
Give it up for your Cadet 12 podium.
On your mate.
I'd like to thank Dad, Mum for bringing me up here, Kip for the great engine, kart and kart setup, these two for great racing all weekend, Joel's mum and dad for giving me a hub that actually works, and yeah, that's it, thank you.
I'd like to thank Chris for the amazing commentating, Courtney for the photos, my mum and dad, they're awesome, they bring me down here and did some work on the kart, Eurotech, Daryl for making the kart well rapid, BD for making the motor awesome, Jack for supporting me, these three for great racing, everyone else on the track for great racing as well. The officials for making this meeting possible, Conor Radford for coming to watch and presentating the thing. Yeah.
It's presenting, not okay.
Just before I say all my thank yous and everything, I'd like to dedicate this win to Conor Radford. And also for him helping me with some secret techniques. But I'd like to thank my mum and dad for bringing me up here, the Radfords for the support, Flat Out Karts. For them, I don't think I would be up here even in third. These two for awesome racing. West Coast Civil for sponsoring me, and yeah. And also my sister for the support.
On your boys. Can you get up, boys? Your mum's won a trophy. Photo. Tell you what. Connor's a Lewis Hamilton fan. The day he retires and works for Sky Sports, you can have my job. Done. All right, we'll take a moment just for the photos. Chase needs about 5 more arms. Oh, he's got it. Have faith. All right, now get down. On your boys. Hey, he's making off with your gear. Yeah, don't drop them. Amy will cry. That's better. On to tag 125 light, brought to you by 79 Kart Sports. Your fastest qualifier. Give it up for Luca Nietzsche. Hang out, you got to stay with him now. In third place, on 975 points, Caleb Sumich. In second place, on 986 points, Tommy Lawton. And your winner for 2021 in tag 125 light. He was parked on the side of the racetrack and we thought his day was done. On 1,057 points, he goes back-to-back state championships. Give it up for Kip Foster! Jump on up there on the podium, guys. Hold your trophies up. Luca, stay there. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your tag 125 light podium.
Big thanks to Dad, BD for helping. BD for the engine and coaching. Mason for coming up and helping out. All the drivers for the great racing and everybody putting the meeting on. It was a good meeting. Cheers.
Like I said before, just like to thank my mum and dad, my sister, my grandparents for all their support. The Eurotech team. Corey for spinning spanners, kart ran faultlessly all weekend. Daryl obviously puts in so much effort and time into the go-kart. All the drivers for great racing and the club for putting on an awesome meet.
I've got a lot of people to thank, but start with I think Mike Ellis. I think he was helping me all weekend, did an absolutely fantastic job. His boy wanted a break and he didn't want a break, he wanted to be here, so it was really nice for him to come along and enjoy with our team, and he helped quite a few people in our team, so he's always welcome whenever Kieran's not going to have a go, come along and give us a hand, so thank you very much. I know he's not here now, but he's back at home, so thank you. Also Chris, thank you last night, we needed you there to help straighten that chassis out, so we needed a bit of strength, thanks buddy, and all the good words as well on the weekend. It's always nice to listen to. Our team, thank you very much. We get along really good. It's great fun. It's really good to see some of our cadets go so well and enjoy themselves. Also Scotty as well, and my wife Kerry, anniversary yesterday. So love you, sweetheart, and everyone else. So thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers, buddy. Good on you, mate.
Getting into Ka3 Senior Heavy. Brought to you by, once again, Pacific Safety Wear. If I can get a little quiet in the house, please. Your top qualifier, Lloyd Nicholson. And now, in third place for Ka3 Senior Heavy on 1,164 points, Jaden Keeville. In second place on 1,222 points, Lloyd Nicholson. And now, your 2021 Western Australian champion for Ka3 Senior Heavy with 3 wins to his name across the weekend, 1,728 points. Give it up for Nathan King. Get on up on the podium, boys. These are the heavyweights on the podium. Don't worry, it's load rated. You're all good. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Ka3 Senior Heavy podium.
I'd just like to thank Mum for coming up here and watching. Dad, Sully, Hicksy and Jimmy for helping with the kart. Hurricane for setting up the event and everyone else in tag for great racing.
I'd just like to say a big thanks to all the other competitors of the heavy class. It's good to see us out there again. Hopefully we can get it going next year. I'd like to thank my mum for looking after my son all weekend. My wife Cassie for bringing me up here. That's pretty much the standard. Also, yeah, taking me home more like. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've been up on the podium here. So thank you very much, everybody. Also a big shout out to Cliff Randall for spannering all weekend. Did a great job. And another shout out to the Royal Flying Doctors. Great cause. So get on board if you want to sponsor anything. Thanks.
Firstly, I'd like to thank my family for coming down and supporting me. Kip Foster, thanks for that engine. You've helped me out all weekend. Mike Ellis, he's not here, but without him, he would have made my weekend a lot harder. Troy Stewart for pitting for me. Yeah, without him, he set up a go-kart awesome for me. The club for putting on a good meeting. It was different, but it worked. All the commentary, and Chris, Four Style, excellent work. Thank you.
While we have a moment, I'd love to remind you all, the 60th anniversary of the Hurricane Go-Kart Club, the gala dinner, October 30 at the Hyatt. Make sure you get your tickets before the 15th of October. Early bird tickets ran out tonight, and we are drawing the winners of the early bird prizes who will win themselves a free night's accommodation at the Hyatt the night of the gala dinner. It's going to be a great cause and a great night to celebrate 60 years of the Hurricane Go-Kart Club. So please make sure you get yourselves your tickets before the 15th of October, and we'll be giving away a free night's accommodation at the Hyatt for the gala dinner. Moving on to WA Open Performance, your top qualifier, Shay Thompson. And in WA Open Performance, brought to you by Swiss Heartless In third place, 990 points. Give it up for Shay Thompson. In second place, on 1,321 points. Give it up for your outgoing West Australian State Champion, Nathan Phillips. And now, this one is a big one. Your 2021 West Australian Champion in WA Open Performance, clean sweeping 4 of the 5 heats. Ladies and gentlemen, bring the house down for Blake Preston! Up on the podium, boys, when you get a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your WA Open Performance Podium.
This time, a big thank you to Pixie and Corey Hayes giving me a kart to run this weekend in a class I don't usually race. It was great to drive. It was good fun. It's a different type of racing, like having to plan my passing and racing a bit differently. It was a bit frustrating at times, but it's really rewarding when it comes off. Congratulations to these two guys. That package is for sale, by the way. Well maintained, and it got me up here, so it can't be too bad. Congrats to Blake. I don't think anyone can say he doesn't deserve it. He did a great job all weekend. And I'd like to thank my family, Britt for coming down as well, the support, and also Chris as well for being on the mic. He always adds an extra level to the racing, so thank you.
Firstly, thanks to my mum and dad. It's the same speech the last 30 years, but thanks for getting here Friday, setting up. Jack, Matt Chambers, fantastic all weekend. Very lucky to be able to just get in and have a run with him. So thank you, Kartmart, for all the support throughout the year. Hurricane Kart Club, huge effort, huge entries, tricky weather, so it's been good. Format or not, it is what it is, so well done. Blake, fantastic, mate, well deserved. You were clearly the fastest all weekend, so had nothing for you, mate. But enjoy it, savour it, it's pretty special, so well done.
I'm going to try my best to hold this one together, but I'll try and get the formalities out the way. Obviously, I'd like to thank Gavin Kennedy, Swiss Atlas Australia, GFR Engines in Scotland, Tillotson Carburettors. I'd like to thank my pop and my mate Andrew for coming up and turning spanners all weekend. I've got to say a huge thank you to all my family that have rocked up this weekend to be here to support me throughout all of this. I'd like to thank everyone that came out this weekend. Made the huge effort to be here on Friday to celebrate Dad's life. I'd like you all to know you've all been a part of this, and I hope you cherish all the moments you've had with him, as I'm sure he is today. I have to be grateful for everything he's taught me, because without that I wouldn't be here today. And all the help I've had from everyone around us, all the officials, the racers, friends, just everyone that's been here and made this such a welcoming day. It's been such a great weekend to be back up here. The first one without Dad, and it's been the best one we've had. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here this weekend, and this one's for Dad. Cheers.
One more time for Brett. Onwards to tag 125 Restricted Masters, brought to you by Kart Co. Your fastest qualifier. Give it up for Daniel Spragg. Spraggy may have left us. Got two boys to look after. Onwards to the podium. In third place, 1,158 points, Raymond Cochran. No? Jeez, Ray's getting young. In second place, 1,177 points, Benjamin Bonden. And now, your 2021 West Australian champion for 125 Restricted Masters on 1,523 points. A dominant performance through the Sunday program. Give it up for your new state champion, Adam Gandossi. Jumping up on the podium, boys. I know it's a little creaky to get up there. Or they may elect to stay at ground level. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your 125 Restricted Masters.
Ray would just like to thank Jake Clark for just doing everything to his kart this weekend, helping him run it. Running two classes would have been hard for him. Just the club for putting on such a great meeting, all the drivers around him for great racing, and I reckon he'll be happy with this one.
Yeah, look, this has come out of the blue. This is awesome, blown my mind. I really want to thank Paul, Kevin, Shane for all the help they've given me this weekend. Flat Out Karts, I cannot thank you enough. You guys have always been there for me, and 23 years ago you were there for me. You're back now. I'm back racing. You're there for me. I really appreciate it. And most importantly, I really want to thank my beautiful wife and kids. You know, they support me all the time through my racing, and can't wait for my little fella to start racing soon. Cheers.
Yeah, I got so many people to thank. I've maybe had a dozen podiums in state titles before, never actually won one. So this is actually really awesome for me. Came out of retirement to finally get on the top step. So many people to thank. My family, my wife, beautiful wife, Millie. Thank you so much. Valentino, Juliet, Nicholas, awesome kids. My dad, he's always been there for me. Appreciate it so much. Tristan and Tony for helping me out all weekend. That's really been super helpful. Shane McPherson, legend of a guy, builds the engines. He's really helped me get me back into the sport. Thank my dad for being Italian. So back in the early 80s, we actually used to bring Tony karts in from Italy ourselves. The car was absolutely brilliant this weekend. I couldn't have done it without the chassis. Especially when the rain started, it sort of brought everything to life for me. So I got to thank the kart more than anyone else. It was actually completely brilliant. My sponsors, Gandossi Group, and also a massive thanks, new sponsors on board this weekend, Andrew Vito and Atri Real Estate. So thanks a lot. Thanks to the drivers. Thanks to all the officials and everything. And the Hurricane Kart Club always do something super special here. Really great kart club. So thanks a lot.
He has one more.
So sorry, I forgot Peter Allen. I was running around looking for second-hand tyres. Peter Allen, you're an absolute legend. Forgive me, wet weather tyres, because I would have just driven off the end of the straight with those slicks. Thanks a lot, mate.
Onwards to Ka3 Senior Medium, brought to you by Kart Class. Your fastest qualifier. Give it up for Scott Foster. And now for the podium. In third place, 1,020 points. Give it up for Jason Betts. So Betsy ain't here. Is anyone here to accept on behalf of Betsy? Sold. Rick Howe. All right, we kick onwards. In second place on 1,196 points. Give it up for Scott Foster. It's like he's never done it before. And now, your 2021 West Australian champion in Ka3 Senior Medium, going back to back. Give it up for Brandon Dunco. Jump up on the podium, boys. Get up on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Ka3 Senior Medium podium.
I bet you'd like to thank his old man for getting up here. Hurricane Go-Kart Club. All the officials, everybody was out in the paddock all day. Thanks very much.
First of all, I'd like to thank Dad, Mike Ellis, Mum, and my grandparents for coming down. All the grandparents came down. It was fantastic. We don't get to see them very often at the track, so it was really cool that they managed to come down. So, yeah, KF Kart, obviously. Really well done to Brandon. Spectacular driver. I'm not even close to keeping up this weekend. He blew the doors off me, so mega effort. Yeah, top job. Can't say much else.
First of all, I'd like to say a huge thanks to Pop and Dad for working on the car all weekend. You know, they really put in a lot of work at the track and pays off. Greg and Sam, Flat Out Karts, for letting us borrow the engine and just their awesome support throughout the whole year and especially this weekend, you know, giving us an engine and whatnot. So, yeah, thanks to them from Flat Out Karts and also these boys in this class for great racing all weekend and anyone that helped get this meeting possible. Family for the support as well, you know, the missus and mum and stuff. So, yeah, cheers. Thank you.